Let's look at section 3.6 applications, which essentially just means word problems. We're going to look at two examples and we will follow the following 3 steps. The first step is to pick a variable and write your unknown or unknowns, define them. Second step, write an equation. Third step, solve and label your final answer or answers. Example 1 says, if the first of 3 consecutive integers is subtracted from 120, the result is the sum of the second and the third integers. Find all 3 integers. This example has 3 unknowns. We will use one variable, and our first step we're going to say let x equal to the first integer and then remember that consecutive integers follow each other. So an example of consecutive integers would be 5, 6, 7. So to get from the first integer to the second integer, we just add 1. To get to the next integer, we add 2. Once we define our unknowns, our second step would be to write our equation, which we just translate from our problem. It says if the first of 3 consecutive integers is subtracted from is one of the ones you have to be careful with the order. The order is 120 minus x. The result is equals the sum of the second and the third integers. Here we have the second, here we have the third. Just add those together. And so we have x plus 1 plus x plus 2. Our equation's complete. We just need to solve. Combine your like terms on the right side. 2x plus 3. Next, we can add x to both sides. $120 is equal to 3x plus 3. Subtract 3, which leaves us with 117 is equal to 3x. Of course, divide by 3, which tells us that our first integer is 39. So this is our first. And to get the second and the third, just go back to step 1. 39, substitute for x. 39 plus 1 gives us 40, and then 39 plus 2 gives us 41, and you can always go back here and label your 3 answers. And that is done. Next, example 2. The perimeter of a rectangular shaped pool is 172 meters. The width is 16 meters less than the length. Find the length and the width. So there's one thing you can do is you can always draw a picture. And also remember the formula for perimeter for a rectangle. It's 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And so for our first step, what we need to do is pick a variable and ask yourself, will the variable represent the length or will it represent the width? Go back to what it says. It says the width is 16 meters less than the length. Since we're comparing the width to the length, we're going to let the variable be the length. So L represents the length, and then we translate for the width. 16 meters less than. Be careful with less than. The order matters. The order here should be L minus 16. That's the correct order for that subtraction. Step 2, we want to write our equation. Since the perimeter is given to be 172, replace P with 172. And then we have 2 times the length, so that's our length, 2 times the length, plus 2 times the width, L minus 16. You need parentheses. Equation is complete. Distribute next. Combine like terms. We can add 32 to both sides. Which gives us 204 equal to 4L. Of course, divide by 4. And so we get that the length comes out to be 51 meters. And our width would be 51 minus 16. And so I'm going to write my answers right next to the first step. And then 51 minus 16 would give us 35 meters. And that is our final answer.